on Saturday. Speaking of Syracuse, here they are, as they are no longer undefeated. And boy, they had every opportunity, though, to remain undefeated. Tough loss against Clemson. Let's see how they respond here at home against Notre Dame. You've got Syracuse back at the Carrier Dome here in this one, currently laying 3.46 the total in this game. Money's come in on Syracuse, C-Mac. 1-point favorite up to 3. Even though we talk about bubble burst theory, and sometimes there's that thought process in the grand scheme of things in the broader betting markets that you want to fade the team that just lost their first game of the season because, kind of the bubble burst, and it takes them a while to get rid of the sting, of losing that first game of the season. I get all that, but I don't know if that's enough of a reason for me to want to step in with Notre Dame here, because there continues to be issues with Notre Dame. It wasn't a crisp, clean game against UNLV, and they gave up some points, to be honest with you, to UNLV. Like Bailey and Friel, the two quarterbacks for UNLV, moved the ball. I don't like that Courtney Reese got 142 rushing yards, against that Notre Dame defense. They ran it a lot, and they ran it well. Well, if you're going to have a leaky run defense against Syracuse, they'll make you pay for it. They've got a very athletic quarterback in Schrader, although he took a shit ton of hits in that game against Clemson. He's going to need an ice bath, after that Clemson game. I hope that, he takes the week to be, get the aches and pains out of his body, because he took a shit ton of, blows in that game. We'll see if he can bounce back physically here, but they've got him. They've got Sean Tucker, the great running back. So if Notre Dame is springing leaks on defense against the run, that could be a little bit of a concern here against Syracuse. So I get it. They lost the first game. I get it that, maybe they're a little bit hungover and it's a negative feeling around the team. I don't think it should be that way. You were probably thinking, we're going to be in tough to beat Clemson anyway last week, even though we nearly did. I think if you're Syracuse, there's still a lot to play for here. It's going to be ACC championship. You probably had to win against Clemson. You didn't. So you're probably not going to be in the ACC title game, but you still have a chance to be, if you win out, you could be in a pretty damn good New Year's Six bowl game. There's a chance you could. There's no question about that. So I think for Syracuse, there's still plenty that they can push forward with in terms of, let's make this as best a season we can possibly make it. And, Notre Dame, to me, on the road, I'm not ready to trust this team at the moment. So I get that there's a concern about what are we going to get out of Syracuse, having the deflator of that first loss in a hard-fought, tough, heartbreaking loss to Clemson. They're driving for the game-winning touchdown, and Schrader throws the interception, and that was the ball game. But I don't know if that's enough of a reason to back Notre Dame, because right now, Conor, I'll tell you this right now, I think Syracuse is the better football team. And I don't know if I want to go against them laying only 3 at home. What do you think here?
Yeah, I agree, with this move, from 1 to 3. I don't think Notre Dame is a very good football team at all. I mean, UNLV is bad, and they're lucky that defense is really bad, and they scored 44. But you talked about, I thought UNLV watching that game, they ran kind of all over them for a little bit, did the Rebels, and got 21 points. I know it's off that tough loss, and I thought Syracuse played great. It just rough fourth quarter there. Clemson at home gets it done. But I thought they played great, and they always play them well. Syracuse used to play Notre Dame pretty tough. They've gotten their ass whipped a little bit, but they've had some bad teams the last 4 or 5 years. I think this is their best team back at the Carrier Dome. I think it'll be rocking, even with that one loss. When Notre Dame comes to town, you better be, especially that part, the country in New York. They better be up for it. So, yeah, I like Syracuse here. Total's interesting. I don't know if I mess with it. Obviously, I like these defenses, especially Syracuse, so it could stay under or just get over. I'm going to have to look at it a little more.